We've got the Mazda Cx-50 and the Subaru Outback in our comparison.
We're in Canada, so we call it Mazda. South of the border, it's Mazda. And if you're new here, this is the Motormouth YouTube channel. I'm Zach.
I'm Andrea.
And we put out these comparisons each and every week. So if you like what you see, it'd be great if you could subscribe. And also follow on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. So let's get at it.
Both the Mazda Cx-50 and Subaru Outback have two engine options. The Cx-50 base engine is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission, 187 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. The second is a turbocharged version of this with 256 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel. You can use regular fuel, but you'll get a little less power at 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The Cx-50 comes standard with all-wheel drive.
The Outback's base engine is also a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with a CVT, 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. The second more powerful engine is a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder with 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive, and you can put regular fuel in the Outback.
So we thought these two would be a great comparison because they both have two engine options, one being a turbocharged, and they both kind of look like wagons. Obviously, the Outback really does.
Yeah, the other thing is, some say, well, what about the Forester? Forester is no longer available with a turbocharged engine, so that's why we chose the Outback. So let's get into the ride and handling.
The Cx-50 offers 8.6 inches of ground clearance and is based on the same platform as the Mazda 3 and the Cx-30. It offers a sporty and engaging drive with exceptional handling abilities. The suspension isn't as firm as the Cx-5, but firmer than the Outback. Mazda offers i-Activ all-wheel drive, an on-demand system featuring sensors that check road conditions 200 times every second. Built to sense and respond to different road conditions, it gives you more confidence in harsher weather. Mazda has added standard mi-Drive technology, which allows you to customize your drive modes. You can switch between various modes like sport and off-road to best cater to the road conditions ahead. i-Activ Sense safety technology is standard on the Cx-50.
So the Outback you're looking at here is the new Wilderness trim. It has greater ground clearance than the base model, improved gear ratios for off-road performance, a retuned suspension, a front view camera, and improved dual function X mode. However, all Outback models shine off-road and in more challenging winter driving conditions, with an impressive 8.7 inches of ground clearance. There's also an X mode driver setting which includes trail capabilities and hill descent control. X mode complements Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive system, giving drivers the confidence to take the roads less traveled. So the Outback is capable on all road conditions, whether it's uneven pavement, deep snow, or challenging inclines. It'll be easy to tackle. The Outback comes standard with EyeSight driver assist technology, which is their suite of advanced safety systems.
These two vehicles drive differently. In my opinion, it's night and day. I find that the Cx-50 is really sporty and engaging, but the Outback is comfortable. It offers a quiet cabin. And when we went on that cottage trail, it just ate up all the bumps and the cabin remained quiet.
So you have to know the basis of these two vehicles. As Andrea mentioned, this new Cx-50 is based on Mazda's small vehicle platform, and they made it a little bit bigger. But the Outback's basis is the old legacy station wagon. So it's really one of the only few station wagons we have left in the non-premium space. And those characteristics, to Andrea's point, do shine through. It's comfortable, it's compliant, even with the special all-terrain tires on this Wilderness trim, it's very comfortable.
Mazda is promoting the Cx-50 as an outdoor crossover. It has a wide, bold stance, thick black cladding, a low roofline, LED headlights, and 19-inch wheels, available 20-inch. The rear has a boxy design with dual exhaust tips and a rear roof spoiler. The reinforced roofline is designed to support kayaks, bikes, and even a pop-up tent, which can hold the weight of 3 people. The top GT trim we're testing in Zircon Sand offers a piano black front grille, 20-inch machine-cut alloy wheels, and an adaptive LED front lighting system. A new Meridian trim is on the way later this year with 18-inch wheels and all-terrain tires, headlight protectors, and a unique hood graphic to give it an even more outdoor design.
We're going to show you the Outback Wilderness, but also the regular Outback as well, so you can see how they look with and without the additional wilderness cladding. The Outback features streamlined aerodynamics, including sculpted side mirrors and wheel designs that help reduce wind noise and also increase stability and boost fuel efficiency. The overall stance of the vehicle is wider and more planted than previous models. All Outback models come standard with LED headlamps and fog lamps. Sweeping rear LED tail lamps, 17-inch wheels or 18-inch wheels are available. Now the Outback Wilderness offers 9.5 inches of ground clearance. It has copper accents, 17-inch black matte wheels with Yokohama Geolander all-terrain tires, plus a full-size spare tire. Subaru also updated the roof rails with a traditional set of crossbars, which will support more than 700 pounds of weight when the car is parked. That means the Wilderness, just like the Mazda, can support a roof tent. The roof rails will support up to 200 pounds while driving.
So looks are subjective, right? Although I find that the CX-50 is much more attractive looking than the Outback. That's just my opinion.
So that's why I referenced there that we're going to show you the Wilderness version of the Outback. In my opinion, kind of goofy looking cladding on it. It's really not well executed in my opinion. The Mazda, we talked about this when we did our full review on it. To me, it kind of reminds me of a Volvo V60 cross country kind of look. Really sort of sleek. It isn't a wagon, by the way. So the Outback is a wagon. It's more of a traditional SUV, but it has a bit of a wagon vibe to it.
Yeah.
The Outback with all that cladding kind of ruins it for me.
Well, some people with the CX-50 aren't thrilled about the black cladding either on it.
But you could have Subarus.
Yes, you could have Subaru's cladding. I think overall Mazda did a beautiful job with the exterior styling. But I have to say there is an Outback Wilderness in our neighborhood in blue. That vehicle is always dirty. It always has bikes attached to the back. And you know what? It seems like that guy is having a pretty good time.
Well, the thing is, people who want to use Outback and do mountain biking and kayaking and go camping, they'll see this Wilderness and go, that's for me. They'll love it. Those who just use it to go and take kids to school and get groceries might say, I'll just get the regular one.
The Outback is 5.5 inches longer than the CX-50 and offers over an inch more front legroom, but they have about the same second row space. The Outback has a little more space behind the second row, but a lot more in overall cargo capacity, an extra 19.4 cubic feet compared to the CX-50.
Here's our used car alternative from CanadaDrives.ca. We chose a 2017 Subaru Outback 3.6R Limited with the old 6-cylinder engine, 124,500 kilometers for $25,990. Click on the tab or the link in the description below to find more vehicles in this category from CanadaDrives.ca.
The CX-50 interior is exactly what you would expect from Mazda, a sophisticated and elegant design with very little hard plastic. In Canada, there are 3 trims. Some standard features include a 10.25-inch display with Mazda Connect, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, leatherette trimmed upholstery, heated front seats, a 10-way power driver's seat, heated steering wheel, a panoramic sunroof, and a power liftgate. The top GT trim has some extra features like a Bose sound system, front and rear parking sensors, navigation, a 360 monitor, wireless charger, a power passenger seat, leather seating surfaces, and ventilated front seats along with heated rear seats. In the US, there are 9 trims to choose from, so you get a more stripped-down base model at a lower price point than we get in Canada. But you still get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but a smaller 8.8-inch display as standard equipment. The preferred trim is where those extra features start, like heated front seats, a 10.25-inch display, and the power liftgate. Moving up to those higher trims will get you the extra features we have on our trims in Canada, including ventilated front seats and the Bose sound system. You can now use the display screen as a touch screen for wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto when the vehicle is going under 10 kilometers an hour. For all other features, the screen is controlled with the center console dial.
As we mentioned, the Outback is large and it has an open and spacious cabin. It's practical and comfortable interior with standard cloth upholstery or available leather or even Napa leather. The Wilderness trim has logoed rubber floor mats and water-resistant seats that are easy to clean. Other standard features include a 7-inch touchscreen, an available 11.6-inch screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a power driver's seat, manual passenger seat, heated front seats, and a heated steering wheel. Available features on the higher trims include a 12-speaker Harman Kardon sound system, a wireless charger, ventilated front seats, a power passenger seat, driver's seat memory, heated rear seats, a sunroof, and a hands-free power liftgate.
I actually like both of these interiors. I like that larger touchscreen that the Outback offers, and I like the Mazda with the 10.25-inch display. But there are two things that the Outback doesn't have that the Mazda gets, and that's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and the new panoramic sunroof.
Yeah, that's a big deal for some people. I don't care about panoramic sunroofs as I sit in a car with a huge panoramic sunroof. But the one thing I'll say in defense of the Wilderness, yes, you get that bigger screen. By the way, the bigger 11-inch plus screen is on all but the base model. So most people are going to get that one. Is the touch points and all of the materials on the inside, I think, are better in the Subaru and softer touch points. And you can just look at the seats of the Outback. I'll show you them now, and then I'll show you the Mazda seats. And the Subaru seats, just to look at, look more comfortable.
They are more comfortable. Unfortunately, the Mazda seats, although better than the Cx-5, are still firm, and I don't find that there's enough thigh support for long trips, and that's where the Outback wins for sure. I would have to disagree with you, Zach, on the soft touch materials, that you find that the Outback is better. I think that the Mazda interior is stunning, and that is one thing that Mazda does so well, is that they have wonderful quality leather on their higher trims and just soft materials throughout.
I'll give you one example of where I disagree with that. It's good that we disagree. The center console on the Subaru products has soft padding down the sides.
Right.
Now you get that with the Cx-5. However, with the Cx-50, it's gone. It's hard plastic.
Yeah.
So that's one area. That's one example that the Subaru is better.
In Canada, the base trim starts at just under $38,000. The GT model with the non-turbo engine is just under $43,000, and the top turbo is just over $45,000. In the US, so many trims to choose from. That base trim starts at just under $27,000. And you go all the way up to the Turbo Premium Plus for just over $41,500. Here's the fuel economy for the non-turbo engine. The Cx-50 gets 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.9 on the highway. That's 24 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. The turbo engine gets 10.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 8.1 on the highway, 23 miles per gallon city, and 29 miles per gallon highway. The Cx-50 Turbo can tow up to 3,500 pounds and the non-turbo engine 2,000 pounds. Mazda offers a warranty of 3 years with unlimited kilometers in Canada and 3 years or 36,000 miles in the US.
Here's the pricing for the Outback with a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. It starts at just over $31,000 Canadian, $27,000 US. Goes all the way up to the top Premier trim at just over $41,000 Canadian and just over $37,500 in the US. Now the turbocharged engine. It starts in the US at just over $35,000. In Canada, the base model is the Wilderness trim at just under $42,000 and goes all the way up to just over $44,000 in Canada and just over $40,000 in the US. Here's the fuel economy. 9 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.1 on the highway. That's 26 miles per gallon in the city, 33 miles per gallon on the highway. For the turbocharged engine, it's 10.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 7.9 on the highway, 23 miles per gallon city, 30 miles per gallon highway. The Outback base model can tow 2,700 pounds. The Turbo, 3,500 pounds. Subaru offers a warranty of 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles.
For me, it comes down to a couple things. So if I want a sporty drive, really, more of an entertaining ride to it, I'm going for the Cx-50. But if I'm looking for extra space, comfort, ground clearance, and also better fuel economy, the Outback is the winner.
All right, well, let's do a little quiz. Would you do the base engine on either of these, or would you stretch to get the turbo in both of these?
Turbo.
Yeah. They use more fuel, like let's just call it, but it makes the experience of both of these so much more satisfying. It's what you kind of expect when you're spending that kind of money, getting that kind of performance.
And I also think if you're going on those cottage trails like we did with the Cx-50 as well as the Outback Wilderness, having that extra power, especially when you're going up hills, it makes a big difference. You just don't feel like, you're struggling in those areas in any way.
So Mazda south of the border, they have marketed this Cx-50 as more of an outdoorsy kind of vibe, right? Yeah. I think Subaru has more of the legit credibility in that department. Yeah. So they've marketed it as a Cx-50 as sort of that, but the Subaru really is kind of that.
Now, another thing, some people don't like CVTs, and that's what the Outback has. Right?
Yeah.
So if you are looking for an automatic transmission, you're obviously going to go for the Cx-50. If you don't mind the CVT, and it's a good one, you'll go for the Outback.
Some companies do CVTs terribly. Other companies do them well. Subaru's one that does it well. It's a very enjoyable, and you actually forget it's even there.
And in the end, these are both great models to choose from. I mean, we're so fortunate that this category is so competitive. It keeps all of the brands on their toes, and it gives consumers great products to choose from.
So it really comes down to, you want the new crossover, or do you want really what is a station wagon? I'm a station wagon guy. I just wish it wasn't as ugly as it is.
Oh my gosh!
And the Mazda is a really nice looking, kind of a European kind of vibe to me, anyway. And the Subaru it's all function over fashion. There's no fashion there.
Yeah.
All right, are we all done?
Like I say, looks are subjective. If you love the Outback, I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Some people will go, that's for me. I love it. All right, we're all done here. If you want to get a comment in, you need to follow along. How do they follow along, Andrea?
Motormouth_Andrea on Instagram. I give a sneak peek every week of what's coming up on the channel.
And what else do they have to do?
Subscribe, hit that notification bell. We put out a lot of content each week, and we'd love you to watch it all.
And when will we do it again?
We'll see you next week.